Get unready with me while I tell you how you're going to get rid of that collection without ever having to pay for it. Whenever your debt is sold to a debt collector by the original creditor, it is no longer the original creditor's problem. When we're talking about a collection or your credit report, we're actually talking about two different things. There's the reporting of the collection, and then there's actually the debt, which is why a lot of times you still see that creditor reporting that previous account, but just with a zero balance. The biggest mistake that I see people make whenever they are sending debt validation is using a very generic template in their request. If you have a rental debt on your credit report, you're probably going to want to ask for your lease when you're asking for the original contract that you signed. Being a little bit specific in what you're asking for lets the debt collector know this is not their everyday template. It's also very helpful because whenever you do get any type of validation back, you can always use your original debt validation letter as like a checklist. Once you do get a debt validation letter response where you have maybe a bunch of statements, random pieces of paper, it's all confusing. This is when you're gonna want to actually respond back to the debt collector. Not responding is out of the question. This is the biggest mistake that I see people make, is that they ask for debt validation, they get debt validation. They don't question anything that they receive, and so they don't respond.
How do we respond, Jasmine?
I'm going to tell you. Remember that initial letter I told you we can use as a checklist? You're going to go back to it and you're going to look at what they gave you and look at what you asked for. You're going to say, thanks for responding to me, but remember when I asked you for this, this, and that, that's going to prove this debt is mine. You can collect on the debt. It is still collectible and not past the statute of limitations. I didn't get that, and I'm going to need that. Thanks.